Hello everybody, it's me again, and I've come to tell you a little bit more about some of my dolls. Now, if you've seen the video of my entire collection at the time that I made the video, you saw that I had quite a large collection of Raggedy Ann and Andy's. Now, I just love Raggedy Ann and Andy's because no matter how bad of a day you have, I mean, just looking at them smiling, just, it kind of makes you want to smile. But I have a few here that are really special to me. And this is actually the Raggedy Ann that started it all. She was my first Raggedy Ann. And she has a little holiday candy cane dress on. I got her at a yard sale, and I thought she was real lonely because she didn't have her Andy with her. So my mom went out and bought a kit from a doll store that used to be open around here, and she bought this little kit. It's a little Andy, and he came with a book, but unfortunately I've lost the book. And but his pattern was copyrighted in 1991, which is actually the year I was born. So this became this Ann's little friend right here. But then I have one special one that I love the most. He is one of the most important ones I have, and it is this one. This one has been very loved over the years. He is handmade, and the outfit and everything is original. My Uncle Jerry, who used to have a little store where he sold produce and other odds and ends on the side of the road. But, and it'd be on our way to the lake. So we'd stop by, and one day I was going through there, and he'd always give us stuff for free. But I was going through his store, and I found this little guy. He was on a shelf, and right beside him was a Ken doll dressed up like a mummy, covered in ants. And I'd picked him up and then just dropped that Ken doll, but then I came to him. The first thing I did was, since I just encountered ants, I picked him up carefully and kind of lightly shook him to make sure that there's no ants. As a child, I was bad about ants and getting bit. But then, as I examined him more, I was like, he was fine. He had a few holes in him to begin with and stuff, and in his legs and things, but I thought it'd be fine. I could get my mother to patch him up for me after I cleaned him. But when I got him home, I slept with him for a few nights and things, and then I took him to my mother and said, can you put him in the washing machine for me and clean him? And she did, but unknowingly the legs were in such bad shape that when she did that, when she pulled him out, she called me in there, and unfortunately his legs had fallen apart, completely deteriorated. Holes, there was exposed cotton and fluff, and I just cried. I was like tore up. I was a little kid, and this was like, it was special because it was given to me by my uncle, who is now deceased. But my mom promised me that it could be fixed and that he could be fixed, and so I took her word for it and I calmed down. She placed him on her sewing machine so she'd fix him. Well, unfortunately, my mom's a very busy woman, and it takes a while for her to get around to things like that. So, one night, I felt really bad because he was in there by himself, and it was a cold night. So, I went in there, and I got him, and I took some bandanas, and I wrapped them around his legs, which were still attached to him, just very tore up. And I wrapped them around his legs so the stuffing wouldn't come out. And I cuddled with him that night to sleep. But, and the next morning, I woke up and I gave him a big hug, and then I looked at him, and his legs, which you see now, blue, his legs were fixed. Not only fixed, but they seemed brand new. Me being a little kid and all, I thought that it was like some kind of magic, like out of a cartoon or something, that my love had magically, you know, fixed him overnight. And I actually took him and I ran to the living room where my mother, my brother, and my father were sitting watching TV. I ran to the living room cheering that he was fixed, and I held him out for them to see, and when I did that, they just all started smiling and holding back snickers and stuff, and I realized in the night my mother had come into my room, taken him out of my arms, and in the night had replaced his legs and repaired them, and then came back and put him back into my arms while I was sleeping. And just thinking about that story, you know, I'd actually thought I'd performed some act of magic of a child's undying love for a toy, but it was just a loving mother's touch. And I think back and I think about my mother and what she's done for my family and for me and my brother, and it just makes me appreciate her, especially since me and her are both doll collectors. Me and my mother are very close and I love her very much. And this is just a symbol of her love for me. Of course, over the years he has acquired a few more injuries to the face where I was a little too rough cleaning him, unfortunately, when I was not, you know, that good at, you know, cleaning up and maintenance. But I still love him. He does not stay with the rest of their Andys. He has a special place on top of my bed, on the headboard of my bed, where he stays. That way, in the middle of the night, if I want to, I can just reach up and grab him and cuddle with him. But he's always been there for me, him and my Ann and my little Andy. And these are the three that started it all. Started my collection of Raggedy Ann and Andys. Well, thank you for watching my video, and I hope that you enjoy it. And I hope maybe it makes you think about your mother and what she's done for you. But thank you for your time. I hope you have a great day.